Alright guys, so with this video, we are going to be looking at the idea of trying to simplify radicals. And the first thing that we need to do when we look at simplifying radicals is try to determine, trying to break down the number into like prime factors. So just to kind of begin, the idea of prime numbers is a number that's divisible by 1 or itself. Some examples would be like 1, 2, 3, 5, 7, 11, 13. And when we look at the idea of prime factorization, which you guys talked about in like in 6th grade, is it's the idea of rewriting a number as a product of prime numbers. So like just to look at an example, number 1, like we are breaking down 36. Well, I do know that 36 is 6 times 6. Well, 6 times 6 is not, the 6's are not prime. So we keep on breaking it down. Well, 6 gets me 2 and 3, and this 6 gets me 2 and 3. So overall, guys, when I look at this, I do have all prime numbers. So 2 times 2 times 3 times 3 will all equal 36. This would be your prime factorization. When I look at let's look at 3, because I know 144 might be a little similar. Like when I look at 54, I start off with the idea, okay, well, I know 9 times 6 gets me 54. When I look at 9 breaks down to be 3 times 3. And then when I look at 6, it's 3 times 2. So your prime factorization, or your final value, would be 3 times 3 times 3 times 2. That would be your prime factorization, okay? So I'm going to pause the video for a couple seconds, and I'm going to ask you guys to try to do 2 and 4 for me. Alright, so for number 2, guys, I got 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 3 times 3. If you were to multiply all those two together, you get 144. When I look at 96, I broke it down to be 4 times 24, which 4 broke down to be 2 times 2. When I look at 24, I got 2 times 12. That 12 breaks down to be 2 times 6. So these are our prime numbers so far. When I look at 6, I got it to be 2 times 3. So I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 2s. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 2s, and then a 3. Hopefully that's just a quick reminder of what you guys have done previously. Okay? So let's look at one. And I just want to simplify this radical. I actually want to look at the square root of 300. And I want to try to simplify that value. Okay? All right, so first, I got square root of 300. All right, step 1, I want to break it down into prime factors. So we're going to look at 300 and just see what do we get here. I know it's 5 times 60. I do know 5 is prime. All right, so 60. That's going to be 5 times 12. So I got prime, I got a prime. All right, let's look at 12. 12 is 3 times 4. 3 is prime. That 4 breaks down to be 2 times 2. So I broke down all of it into prime factors. So underneath the radical sign, you guys would have 1, 2, 5s. You got a 3, and then you got a pair of 2s. So step 1, we're just breaking down the radical, so we're good. Okay, so next thing that we're going to do is circle the pairs of prime factors. So I'm going to circle the pairs of 5s, and I'm going to circle the pairs of 2s. All right. Now, what I'm going to do is for each pair, list one number in front of the radical sign. So I'm going to put a radical sign, okay, for each pair. So I have a pair of 5s. I'm going to put 1 5 in front of the radical sign, and then I'm also going to put 1 2 underneath the radical sign. Usually what I say is I'm going to circle and then cross out. So I crossed out those pairs. All right, so we did that. Step 3 is whatever does not have a pair, we're going to write in the under the radical sign. Okay, so I'm going to put a 3 here, guys. Okay. All right, that was just an editor mistake here. So now we're just going to do the last thing. Multiply what's in front of the radical sign. So I get 10 square root of 30. Okay? 10 square root of 30 is what that simplifies out to be. Okay? Let's just look at number 5 for me. Okay, guys? Same idea. All right, we're going to break that 180 down. All right, so I got 2 times 90. That's a prime. 2 times 45. 2 is a prime. When I break down 45, I get 9 times 5. 5 is a prime. And then that 9 breaks down to be 3 times 3. Okay? All right, so right now, underneath the radical sign, I have 2 2's, I got 2 3's, and I got a 5. All right, so now I'm going to circle every pair that I have. I have a pair of 2's, and I got a pair of 3's. Now, step 3, for each pair, list 1 in front of the radical sign. So I'm going to cross out my 2's and put 1 2 in front of the radical sign. I'm going to put 1 3 in front of the radical sign. And then I have a 5 underneath the radical sign. So my final value would just be 6 square root of 5. Okay? And, yeah, so let's just look at number 6, guys. I got 2 times 144. I got 2 times 72. And then I got 2 times 36. I got 6 times 6. I got 3 times 2. 3 times 2. So right now, underneath my radical sign, I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 2's. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 2's. And then I got 2 3's. So for every pair, I'm going to circle it. Okay? And I'm going to list 1 in front of the radical sign. So I have a pair of 2's. I have another pair of 2's. And I got a pair of 3's. And I have 1 2 underneath. So my final value is going to be 12 radical 2. Okay? So what I'm going to ask you guys to do tonight is if you guys could just try those next 4 for me. Try 7 through 10. We will talk about those tomorrow.